Now that we've established that you do want to improve your life, that you do have ambition, clearly, or else you would not have clicked on this video, I have an extremely powerful concept for you that I've seen derail people's lives if they don't get it right. So this concept is nuance, and this nuance that I'm talking about, it might just seem like a simple word, simple concept, but I think it's important enough to be in my Words and Wisdom series. So this is the second word in the series. The first word was sovereignty, or freedom of your own narrative, and this word, nuance, kind of acts like a balance for that first word and for the overarching goal here of reaching articulacy and extreme fluency in whatever subject that you want. So how does nuance affect articulacy? So you want to be articulate, but that doesn't mean using big words all the time. That actually just makes you sound like an asshole. And whereas if you use these your articulacy with nuance, I think you can come across as more genuine. You should be genuine at all times, but sometimes especially whenever you're first learning to use these words like I am, it's very dangerous to just start throwing these big words out everywhere. We need to be nuanced with our usage of them, and as we use these words more, we internalize these concepts into our lives and basically live higher quality lives. That's another one of my goals here is to be a positive input into your life so that you can basically level up in your own lives. And while I'm also doing the same thing in mine. So just another disclaimer here, I don't do edits, I don't do music. No bullshit here. I'm just talking to you directly, and I want to build the trust with you, basically, and with myself. Ultimately, I want to build trust with myself. I'm not even looking at the views here on these videos. I'm just looking at how long I can speak without basically becoming incoherent. If I can weave back in, then I consider that a success. There's distractions all around. I'm pretty badly ADHD. Got a speck of the tism as well, I believe, and that makes it very difficult to express myself, especially whenever I'm so introverted. I don't really get a chance to express myself as often as I probably should. That's my own fault here, and I'm not sure if you can relate, but from my observation of the outside world, most people can't communicate very well, especially for extended periods of time without using like basically sounding like a fucking idiot. And I'm guilty of this all the time, especially whenever I'm put into situations where I'm under pressure. So how are you supposed to expect to perform if you don't practice? So not only is practice important, but the inputs that we basically allow into our lives with our language, for instance. Language isn't the only input consideration here. I think there's a bunch of other factors, but for the scope of my videos, it's going to be language. Hopefully, if I sound cringe at any point, please, feel free to let me know, because I don't know everything, and this nuance thing, it's really much easier for an external person to recognize the fractures in the nuance or whatever, where it starts to get cringe. I don't want to be cringe. I want to be articulate, and articulate in a way that is genuine, and also I'm losing it. I don't want to lose it. So my theory is that the train of thought that you have in your mind, you have many, many different trains going on at the same time, many voices speaking out, trying to get your attention at all times. And the challenge is to basically practice and stick to your values, and have your value as your North Star, your values as your North Star, and choose the voice that best represents you. This is extremely difficult, especially for somebody with ADHD, because their minds are very noisy, and this is because of the constant dopamine drips that we've been fed our whole lives, and this leads to this unintended side effect. So I feel like I've been getting better at this. I'm looking at the clock right now. It's been like 5 or 6 minutes. I feel pretty good about this. So good, in fact, that I'm starting to lose my train of thought again. And it's funny because you're probably just sitting there like laughing, and it's cool. And, this is what we're here for, right? I want to be relatable so that, people out there can understand that average people can also become articulate. So what was I even talking about, right? I was talking about nuance. That's what I want to talk about today. So nuance is a very powerful concept, and it can really make or break your life if you don't understand it. So, for example, whenever I was going into my interview loops for the current job that I'm currently at, and for my previous jobs as well, I've always done like practice interviews, and I've interviewed many people who were quite intelligent. They could solve leak codes really well, but you can tell by the way that they botched the behavioral interview the mock interviews that I gave them, that they would not pass the big tech interviews, because not only do you have to be very analytical and very able to solve these complex problems, but you need to be able to communicate these clearly as well, and also tell your story about basically your career. And if you don't have this is what it's kind of like that thing where you have it or you don't, and that thing that you have or you do not have is nuance a lot of times. And yeah, I've seen it happen, and not many people make it to the next stage because they don't understand that not everything is black and white, and you need to, for example, sometimes you have to play the game, right? You might, if you don't know what the game is in the corporate world, this is a clear indicator that you don't understand nuance. And I mean, if you don't, I would also like to know that. I'd like to know how many people understand what the game is, and maybe I'll make a video about that. So my brain is fried right now, so I'll see you next time. Peace.